कर्तृत्वे परिकल्पितशशभृतो वर्त्मा पुनर्जन्मनाम् आत्मेत्यात्मविदां क्रतुश्चेजितां भर्तामरज्योतिषां लोकानां प्रलयोदयस्थितिविभुश्चानेकथाय श्रुतौ वाचं नः सदधातु नैककिरणस्त्रैलोक्यदीपो रविः। ॐ आदित्याय च सोमाय मंगलाय बुधाय च गुरुशुक्रशनिभ्यश्च राहवे केतवे नमः। अन्तरायतिमिरोपशान्तये शान्तपावनमचिन्त्य वैभवं तं नरं वपुषि कुञ्जरं मुखे मन्महे किमपि तुन्दिलं महः। हरिः ॐ। Salutations to one and all. On behalf of Siva Kameswari Devasthanam Vedic and Spiritual Center, I wish you all happy Sobhakrut New Year as per the Indian lunisolar calendar. As per the Indian tradition, on the New Year day, we do Panchanga Sravana, which is rendering of the Hindu almanac. What kind of results does it bring us? We're going to see now. Sri Kalyana Gunavaham Ripuharam Duswapna Doshapaham Ganga Snana Visesha Punya Phaladam Godana Tulyam Drunam Ayurvruddhidam Uttamam Subhakaram Santana Sampatpradam Nana Karma Susadhanam Samuchitam Panchangamakarnyatam. By rendering the almanac on the New Year day, Sri Kalyana Gunavaham Ripuharam, it brings auspiciousness to our surroundings. It also helps us to overcome all our irregularities and also overcome our problems and troubles and go through them. Duswapna doshapaham, if we're having any kind of bad dreams, any kind of troubles, we can overcome those. Ganga snana visesha punya phaladam godana tulyam drunam. Bathing in the sacred Ganga river is very auspicious as per the Puranas and other holy scriptures. So by listening to the almanac on the New Year day, it gives us the results of Ganga Snanam, which means by bathing in the Ganga Snanam, what kind of auspiciousness we get the same thing by listening to the almanac. Godana tulyam drunam. So what kind of good divine nature we get by donating a cow to an auspicious person, that same good results we're going to see by listening to the almanac. Ayurvruddhidam uttamam subhakaram santana sampatpradam. It increases positive vibes, which gives us good health and increases our lifespan. Subhakaram santana sampatpradam. It's also good for our children, because by listening to this, we will know how to plan for the year coming ahead and what kind of precautions we have to take, so thereby we can get on with any kind of problems which we will face. Nana karma susadhanam samuchitam panchangamakarnyatam. Apart from these, in order to achieve any kind of tasks, when to do certain thing or when to undertake certain work and when not to undertake certain work, all these kinds of knowledge we will get by listening to the Panchanga Sravana. So it brings us good auspiciousness from all sides. So if we look at the Hindu lunisolar calendar, though we are calling this year as a 2023 to 2024 as per the common era, but if we once have a look of the ancient years followed in the Indian system, we will know that in the present Kali Yuga, we are running the 5,124 years, and as per the Vikramarka Seka, it's 2,079 years have passed, and as per Salivahana Seka, 1,945 years have passed. And if we look at the Prabhavadi 60 years, like we have a 60-year cycle in the Indian system, so in that cycle, we are in the 37th year Sobhakrut. And as per the English terminology, or as per the modern year standard, we're in the 2023 and 24. So this year is called as Sobhakrut, and the Adhisthana Daivam, the presiding deity of this year, is seen from the following sloka. Sahojasam Sobhakrutam Druna Mishtadamasraye Sivika Vahanarudam Tomaradvaya Parninam. The presiding deity of this year is Sahojasam, which means Agni Devata, the sacred fire god. So all over this year, any kind of worship, if done through the sacred fire, it brings us good results in a speed and effective manner. The fire god is coming in a Palaki Vahana, which means a palanquin as the vehicle, and Tomaram is the weapon which he's going to be carrying. If we look at what this year is going to bring us, Sobhakrudvatsare sarva sasyanam abhivruddhayaha nrupanam snehamanyonyam prajanam cha parasparam Sobhakrudvatsare dhatri prajanam rogasokada tathapi sukhino lokaha bahusasyarghavruštibhihi. In the Sobhakrut year, all the agriculture is going to be very good. The yield is going to be very efficient and it's going to be profitable. The agricultural business is going to run in a profitable manner. Thereby, all other depending industries and the supply chain is going to be in good business. Sarvasasyanam abhivruddhayaha nrupanam sneham anyonyam. All the political leaders, they're going to be with harmony in each other, and they're going to undertake good works, and also they're going to support the public in a positive manner, and they're going to introduce new welfare schemes which benefit the common man of the working class. Sobhakrudvatsare dhatri prajanam rogasokada. And at the same time, in this Sobhakrut year, the epidemic also, we can see that they're going to increase a bit. And apart from the pandemics which we are already facing, we might see an increase in the diseases. Also, we might see an increase in the seasonal flu. Tadhapi sukhino lokaha bahusasyarghavruštibhihi. So we will be having a good business, a good finance, economy, and also we have to take care of a lot of precautions in the medical side as well. So the Navanayakas of this year are the 9 ministers. The king is Mercury, the minister is Shukra, Venus, and the Senadhipati or the commander-in-chief is Brihaspati, and the Sasyadhipati, the lord of the agriculture crops, is Ravi, Sun, and Dhanyadhipati for the winter crops, it's Saturn, and Arghadhipati for the prices and the business, it's Jupiter, and Meghadhipati is Jupiter as well. The Rasadhipati for the fruits and all, it's Mars, and the Nirasadhipati for the minerals and the mineral ores is Sun. So based on this, we can see that as the king, minister, and the commander are all Subhagrahas, Buddha, Shukra, and Gura, we can say that this year we can see a lot of positive increases in the government as well as the finance and economy. There are going to be a lot of new progress going on. And since Mercury is the king, Prabhuta Vayur Bhuvimadhya Vrishtihi Gadahava Prodhata Rajakopaha Budhebdhanadhebhya Parancha Sasyam Sreshtancha Vruddhir Lipilekhananam. So since Mercury, as per astrology, the Mercury Karakatvas, or what he resembles, is for the young political leaders. They're going to take a lot of decisions in the coming times. So we can see that there's going to be a political shift in the age group from the old people to the young generation. And we can see that shift going in a smooth manner. And they're going to plan pretty well for the upcoming future with a good vision, which is going to be beneficial to a lot of the working class people. And as it is Mercury, the second crop, the winter crop, is going to give a very good yield. And also the writers and authors and who are in the education sector or in the publishing industry, in the paper industry, they're all going to be very profitable. They're going to get good recognition in their works. And all the teacher, educational staff, and all those youth who are trying very hard for new jobs, they're going to see very good positive results. The minister is Shukra, which means the advisors are in a very good position. They advise with a long-term vision, and they're going to be applied and implemented in an effective manner. The commander is Devaguru Brihaspati. As he is the commander, Nrupas sada sadvidhi sampravruttaha Vipras sada vedavidhi pravruttaha which means all the leaders are going to be very sincere in their efforts to lead a good administration. And also the religious people, they're going to be very sincere in carrying on their duties. They're going to do good worship, also good penance, and then they're going to contribute for the welfare of the society in a very effective manner. The Sasyadhipati for the crops, the lordship goes to Sun, which means the crops are going to be very good. Of course, we can see some ups and downs in the prices in between, and the wheat yield is going to increase a lot. It's going to be profitable this year. The Dhanyadhipati, which is the lordship for the winter crops, is Saturn, and since it is Saturn, the sesame seeds, they're going to be very profitable, and also millets, the production of millets is going to increase. The Arghadhipati is Guru, which means Jupiter, but we have Jupiter and Rahu combination in Aries since the new year to October 30. So for those months, we can see a lot of fluctuations in the prices and a lot of disturbances in the financial markets. But after that, the prices are going to be a bit stable, and we can see a decrease in the prices after October 30. Meghadhipati is also Guru, which means we'll be seeing good rains this year in the country. The Rasadhipati for the fruits is Kuja. So the spices and salts and oils, they're going to be in very good production, and they're going to be available abundantly. The Nirasadhipati for the minerals is Sun. As it is Sun, we can see that the copper, iron, and also the copper derivative products, they're going to be in good business. And the state and Raktamanikya Yuktanam Jayate Vruddhiruttama. So the copper industry is going to be a very profitable business this year. And also the state can see that there's going to be an increase in the seasonal diseases. So before the flu comes, we have to make sure that we have all the precautions ready. If we see the Varsha Lagna, which means as per the starting time of the lunisolar new year, it is Vrishabha Lagna, and in the second house we have Mars, in the sixth house we have Ketu, in the 10th house we have Saturn, in the 11th house we have Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Jupiter, in the 12th house we have Shukra and Rahu. This shows that though the Lagna Lord Venus is a Subhagraha, he's in the 12th house with the Rahu, the moon's northern node, which means he possesses a lot of minimal strength. So though he tries to do a lot of good things, he cannot give his full results. Since the first lord is in the 12th house, we can see that there's going to be an increase in the expenses a lot, especially in the first 6 months from March to October 30. The financial market is going to see a lot of ups and downs, and we won't have any sort of stability. The price control is pretty bad, and a lot of price rise, we can observe that, and also the grocery and the minimum living expenses are going to go up. Since the 12th lord Mars is in the second house, there's going to be a financial burden in the family. So in order to lead a family, you have to increase your expenses a lot, so your savings are going to decrease. The third lord Moon is in the 11th house, which means that there's a good progress in the defense sector. So the defense will have a good budget, which is public friendly, and they're going to behave in a good manner. And also the foreign ties, the diplomatic ties, are going to be in a good shape. The fourth lord Sun is in the 11th house, which shows that there's going to be an increase in the employment, especially from the government side. So the government is going to release a lot of new jobs. The youth can expect to see a good progress in their career. The fifth lord Mercury is in the 11th house, but he's in a Nicha Kshetra. Since it is Pisces, for Buddha it's not that favorable. The advisors which the government has, it's going to be in like a mixed nature. Like some people advise it good, some people advise it bad. So sometimes the government might not be able to take a productive decision, which might result in calamities or some wrong implementations of particular schemes. The sixth house, it's Ketu. Since it is Ketu, there's going to be a lot of expenditure due to the enemies or due to diplomatic ties. we can see that this year in USA, expenditure is going to increase a lot for maintaining proper diplomatic ties and for foreign travel. Since the Lagna Lord Shukra is also in the 12th house with Rahu, the travel prices are going to increase. The airfare, the bus fare, and the train fare, we can see a lot of increase in them. And to maintain the international relationships, the government has to increase a lot of expenditure. The 7th Lord Mars is in the 2nd house, which shows that the family expenses as well as the business expenses are going to increase. And also the gold prices, we can see a lot of ups and downs. Whoever is in the gold and finance sector, they have to be a lot of cautious in what they're doing. The 8th Lord Jupiter is in the 11th house, which shows a good stability. But in the first 6 months, since it is Guru plus Rahu combination in Aries, we can see a lot of problems going on in the society. But after that, the second half of the year, the 8th Lord being pretty stable without any affliction, it shows that the financial market is going to be in a pretty good shape after October 30. And also the stability of the government is going to be in progress. And we can see that there are going to be a good diplomatic ties. And the young politicians are going to have a good career. The 9th and 10th Lord Saturn is in the 10th house, which means the government is going to introduce a lot of good work policies as related to the minimum wage or the labor rights or the finance or the insurance, the public health insurance. The government is going to introduce a lot of good policies which help the common man. And there are 4 planets in the 11th house, which is pretty good for the economy, but 4 planets in a single house shows that some politicians might not be having a good time and they're going to face a lot of troubles. And we can see that particularly this year, a lot of politicians are going to see a change in their positions. Like some people might get good positions and some people who are in a good position might end up in a bad state. So there's going to be a lot of fluctuations in who holds a position. And in the 12th house, we have Shukra plus Rahu, which shows that there's going to be increase in travel expenses and diplomatic ties. And if we look at the general combinations which we're going to experience this year, we have 3 Chaturgraha Kudamis, which means a 4-planet conjunction in a single sign. We have 3 such combinations this year from April 21st to May 15th and October 18th to October 30th. And from February 11th to February 13th. So during these days, we have Chaturgraha Kudami, that means 4 planets conjunct in a single house. So the results are going to be, the politicians might not be able to take any stable decisions, the diplomatic ties will be affected, there's going to be, we can see warlike situations in the global scenario, and those in the religious wing might experience a lot of troubles. And as per the Kuja Sancharam is considered, Mars is going to be in the 7th house from Saturn from June 30 to August 18th, and in the 7th house from Jupiter from October 3rd to November 16th. So during that time, there's going to be a lot of fluctuations in the prices. The speculation is going to be pretty bad, and the stock prices are going to increase and decrease a lot. There will be scarcity of resources, and also warlike situations happening in and around the country. If we take the Shukra Sancharam, Venus is going to be setting helically on August 2nd and will be rising on August 21st. So during that time, there's going to be a lot of natural calamities. We can experience hurricanes and tornadoes or storms happening in and around the country, and also in the Gulf and in the Arabian Sea as well. And UK, Denmark, Germany, Poland, Palestine, Syria, Japan, in these countries there's going to be a warlike situation. And the Saturn, the Shani Sancharam, it's in the same house this whole year, and Saturn is transiting in 3 nakshatras this whole year. So he's gonna give about very slow results. Though the government implements good policies for the welfare of the workers, the implementation of those policies is going to be pretty lagging, and they're going to take place in effect very slowly. And from June 17th to August 8th, Adicharagate jive vakrasthopi senescharaha hahakaram jagat sarvam durbhiksham pretarad disi. Saturn is in retrograde motion in Aquarius, and Jupiter is in fast motion in Aries, and he's in the third sign from Saturn. So this shows that during that time there's going to be a lot of increase in the epidemic and pandemic diseases. The flu virus is going to spread a lot. The public is going to suffer with seasonal infections. There's going to be a lot of human loss, and there will be a scarcity of resources. The financial market is going to be pretty bad. So during June 17th to August 8th, we have to be pretty cautious and pretty aware of where we are going, how we are going, what kind of medical precautions we are taking as well. So it is best suggested to do Durga Devi Aradhana during those periods. So this year, if we look at the Vastu Karturi, the small Karturi is going to start on May 4th, and the big Karturi is starting on May 11th, and it's going to be ending on May 28th. So during this period, the house construction and house repair related activities should not take place, but housewarming ceremonies can take place. And from March 25 to May 11th, we have Guru Mudhami, and from July 29 to August 21st, we have Sukra Mudhami. And this year we have an Adhika Masa. So as per the lunar calendar, every 3 years we will be experiencing an extra month. So this year from July 18th to August 15th, we have an extra month. It's Adhika Sravana Masam. And April 21, Jupiter is transiting from Pisces to Aries. It indicates that this year we're going to be having Sardha Trikoti Sahita Ganga Nadi Pushkaralu, which means the holy river Ganga will be having Pushkaras this year. They're starting from April 22nd to May 2nd. And also the Makara Sankranti, it is happening on January 14th, 2024. And the Sankranti Purusha, his name is Ghora, and he's coming on the Sunaka Vahana, which means a dog. As per the eclipses are considered, this year we're going to be having 6 eclipses. Of them, 3 are solar, 1 is a lunar, and 2 are penumbral. On April 20, we have a solar eclipse. It's not visible in America. And on May 5th, we have a penumbral lunar eclipse. As per the Hindu Dharma Shastra, we don't have to follow any sort of rituals for this. And on October 14th, there's a solar eclipse. It's going to be visible throughout America. And all the Grahana Shanti and all the Grahana rituals have to be followed for this. It's happening in Chitta Nakshatram, and it's going to affect Midhuna, Kanya, Tula, and Kumbha Rasis, which are Gemini, Virgo, Libra, and Aquarius. And on October 28th, there's a partial lunar eclipse. It's not visible in America. On March 24th, there's a penumbral lunar eclipse. It's not visible in the USA. And we don't have to follow any sort of religious rituals for the penumbral lunar eclipses. And on April 8th, Monday, 2024, there's going to be another solar eclipse. And it's visible all throughout the country of USA. And this is happening as a Rahu Grasta for the Revati Nakshatra. And it's going to be affecting the Mesha, Simha, Dhanus, and Meena Rasis, which are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. All these 4 Rasis, they have to follow the eclipse rituals. And we can see that this year in the country, 2 total solar eclipses are visible as a clear path, and they're traveling across the whole mainland of USA. So these 2 solar eclipses happening from October 14th to April 8, 2024, they're going to affect the country in a pretty disturbing manner. So during those times, it is advised to be highly precautious of your financial expenses. Try to save as much as possible, because the financial markets are going to be a lot of unpredictable this year. And also the medical expenses and healthcare have to be concentrated on a lot. So these are the general predictions for this year as for the social and political issues are concerned. Now we will look into the individual Rasi Phalas, but it has to be kept in mind that the Gochara or transit results they should be taken as general predictions. They're not very precise to the individual. They're taken as a general kind of forecast for all those people born in that particular sign. And if you want precise results, you always have to tally those with your personal horoscope or a Prasna chart. So, as per the saying goes, Dasabhaharashtaka varga gochare graheshu nrunam vishamasthiteshvapi japecha tat pritikaraihi sukarmabhihi karoti shantim vratadana vandanaihi. As per Paladipika, a reliable astrological text, it says that the Dasabhaharashtaka varga gochare. So, as per the personal birth chart, the Dasa and Antardasa periods have to be considered. They have to be interlinked with the transit results and also the Ashtaka Varga. And if the planet is auspicious or not has to be concluded by summing all these results. And if it is in an unfavorable place, Japecha tat pritikaraihi sukarmabhihi karoti shantim vratadana vandanaihi. So in order to make that unfavorable planet favorable to us, Japecha tat pritikaraihi, we can do all sorts of japas for that planet, Shanti homas, and as the lordship of this year goes to Agni Devata, doing any sort of sacred homa related to that graha will bring us auspicious results. Karoti shantim vratadana vandanaihi. So following all those sorts of Vedic rituals will bring us peace and harmony. So now let us look at Mesha Rasi. For Mesha Rasi, Jupiter is transiting in the Janma Rasi this whole year, and Rahu is transiting in the 1st and 12th houses. Ketu is transiting in the 7th and 6th houses. The 6th house transit of Ketu is favorable, which is going to be from October 30 to end of the year. And Saturn is transiting in the 11th house. Saturn is pretty favorable this year. So as per the career prospect is considered, as Saturn is in a favorable position, those who are searching for jobs, who want to change jobs, or who are jobless and looking for employment, they're going to see pretty good results. The career is going to be pretty good. But since Jupiter is transiting in the Janma Rasi, the financial prospectus is not in that much of a good shape. You can see a lot of rise in your expenditure. Also not able to get good source of amount in the times of need. The family life is going to be pretty okay, but as there's a Guru Rahu combination in the 1st house, you can experience a lot of stress related to your kids or family or financial reasons, or your property is considered, or investments. You're going to have to experience a lot of work pressure as well. Travels are going to bring in luck. Travels will be pretty much favorable. The stock market investments are going to be in good shape after October 30. You can see a lot of increase in your financial life and also savings. And the students who are in the education, since the Guru Rahu combination is taking place from the start of the year till October 30, you can see that there's going to be a lot of decrease in your levels of concentration. You might not be able to perform well, so you have to increase your concentration on studies. You might not want to deviate from your main course track. The business life, if we consider, though Saturn is favorable, since Jupiter is not in a good position in the transit, the business, you will be doing good work, a lot of hard work, but you might not be able to see the profits which you expected. So the Shanti recommended for the Mesha Rasi is on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays during the Pradosha time, which is from sunset to around, from sunset to around 2.5 hours. It's better to do Siva Abhishekam in temples, and also do Devalaya Pradakshina, and do Shanti Homa for Kuja, Guru, Rahu and Ketu as well. And you will be experiencing Ashtama Kuja from November 16 to December 27. So during that time, you can see a lot of fluctuations in your health. So you have to be a lot of cautious about your health during that period. The Shanti for Kuja is recommended during that time. Next, it's Vrishabha Rasi. For Vrishabha Rasi, the Jupiter transit is in the 12th house. The Ketu transit is in the 6th and 5th houses. The Saturn transit is in the 10th house, and the Rahu transit is in the 12th and 11th houses. So during the first half of the time, the Jupiter and Ketu transits are a little bit favorable, and during the second half, of the year, the Rahu transit is favorable. But overall, this year, Saturn and Jupiter play a pretty crucial role. They're going to increase a lot of stress in your job life or in your business. You might not be able to perform well as you thought, and also the promotions or transfers might not be that much favorable to you. There's going to be a rise in your expenditure and also a decrease in your profits. For students, you're going to have to face a lot of troubles because the Jupiter transit in the 12th house is not at all favorable. You might lack a lot of concentration, and the stock market is going to be pretty bad for this sign this year. So financially, you have to be a lot of cautious and try not to invest in anything which you're not sure about. Try to take good advice from your seniors or mentors. And property investments are also not seen as that favorable. And Saturn in the 10th house and Jupiter in the 12th house might force you to try to think of a career change or like a job change or an education change. But it might not turn out to be that favorable as you thought. So overall this year, it seems that for Vrishabha Rasi, it's not that favorable situation. And there's also Ashtama Kuja Sanchara from December 27 to February 5th, 2024. So it is recommended to do remedies or Santi for Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, to visit a Sivalayam, Siva temple, and do Siva and Durga Stotra Parayana. Next, Mithuna Rasi. For Mithuna Rasi, we can say that this year is going to be pretty good as compared to the last year, because the transit of Rahu in the 11th house and the transit of Jupiter in the 11th house for almost the entire year is going to bring a lot of auspicious results. Your career, you can see a lot of changes. Like searching for jobs is going to end up pretty good. You will land with a good job in hand, and you can see an increase in your paycheck, and the financial progress is going to be pretty good. You'll be able to save a lot and invest a lot. All sorts of investments are going to give positive results. But the transit of Saturn in the 9th house might delay the time you experience the results, but overall it's going to be in a pretty good situation, and the business is going to be pretty profitable. The financial business also is going to be in a good shape, and property investments will be profitable as well overall. Travels are going to bring in good luck, and Jupiter transiting in the 11th house, it shows that for students, you're going to excel a lot in your education this year. You'll be having good opportunities, and also the stock market investments and the financial banking sector are going to be pretty much profitable. So overall, if we consider this year for Mithuna Rasi, it's in a pretty good shape. But there is a transit of Ashtama Kuja from February 5th, 2024 to March 15th, 2024. So it is recommended to do Shanti Homa for Saturn and Ketu and also Kuja during that period. And also daily visit Sivalayam, Siva temple, and do Pradakshina or circumambulation to Sivalinga will give good auspicious results. And during Tuesdays and Saturdays, donate food to the need or participate in Annadanam. It's going to give very immediate and fast effective results. Next, it's Karkataka Rasi. For Karkataka Rasi or Cancer, last year you might have experienced a lot of positive results, a lot of growth in your career, a lot of stability, landing up in good jobs. But this year, particularly if we consider the transit of Saturn is in the 8th house, which might increase misery a little bit, increase in quarrels, the way you talk with others, the way how others respond to your requests. It's not going to be that favorable. And also the Jupiter is transiting from the 9th house to the 10th house. The Jupiter transit in the 10th house is going to affect your career in a negative way. Like, though you're searching for a good job, you might not be able to find the job which you desire. And those who are thinking of getting a good hike might not be able to get the hike which you expect. And business is going to be in a pretty risky state. The workers might not be following the instructions well, and they might not be in good coordination with your expectations. And the financial life is in a pretty bad state. The family life is not going well because having Ashtama Shani Sancharam, you might be ending up having a lot of quarrels with your love life or family relationships. So it's better to talk as minimum as possible and try not to involve in any other kind of problems with others. Try to behave yourself. Try to concentrate only on your work. Try not to involve in others' business. Just mind your own business. That's gonna give or end up with good results. And the stock market investments are not gonna be in a pretty good shape. Travels will bring a lot of troubles and increase in expenses as well. For students, the Guru Bala is pretty less this year. Concentration on education is gonna be very difficult unless you have a good Jupiter in your birth chart. So it's advised to do Guru Shanti for students and for businessmen as well, especially those in the finance sector or in the trade sector. It's better to perform Guru Shanti. So overall for this Rasi, Guru Shani Rahu Shanti is advised, as well as doing Navagraha Shanti every month. And chanting Sri Matre Namaha, circumambulation to God, will give up good results. And also one other good remedy is to cook rice with green gram, horse gram, Bengal gram, and sesame seeds, and do Anna Prasada or Anna Vitarana in temples, like to donate food in temples on Thursdays or Saturdays. It's gonna give very good results for this Rasi. Next, Simha Rasi. Simha Rasi or Leo. So last year with Ashtama Guru Sanchara, you might have experienced a lot of trouble-like situations, like having to work in different places, frequently change of places, or having health issues, the elders in your family having health issues, a lot of financial burden and stress. You might have seen those kind of situations in the last year. But this year in the Sobhakrut, the Jupiter is transiting in the 9th house. The Bhagya transit of Jupiter will bring a lot of fortunes. All sorts of travel will be very fruitful this year. Your job life is going to be in a very good shape. Your career, you can see a lot of changes going on. You're going to get the hike which you have expected. You're going to land in a very good job which you have dreamed for a lot of time. And also you'll get the paycheck which you expect. Travels will be pretty much profitable, and transfers you will be getting as per your expectations as well. Foreign travel is going to bring in a lot of profits. You'll develop good human relations. You'll end up meeting new friends, new business relations, good contacts, being in the right place at the right time to get what you desire. The family life is in a pretty good shape. Your love life is also pretty much favorable. You'll have a lot of supportive family members always next to you, and they're going to support you very much. That with that support, you're going to be excelling in your life. Students are going to see a lot of increase in their concentration powers. They'll be able to perform well in education. They'll see good results. They'll end up with good jobs. The stock market trading is pretty much favorable this year for Simha Rasi. Overall, if we consider for this year, the Simha Rasi is going to see a lot of good positive vibes. And the Shanti recommended for this Rasi is the 7th house transit of Saturn might bring some disturbances in your partnership businesses. So Shanti is recommended for Saturn, Rahu, Ketu as well. And also Ayyappa Swami Aradhana, Ayyappa or Aryan. Doing worship of Ayyappa Swami, participating in Ayyappa bhajans, or taking up Ayyappa Diksha will bring very good results. It will give discipline to your life and also bring in good luck. And doing Go Seva, like feeding the cows, donating for the feeding of the cows, and also participating in Annaprasada Seva will bring very good results to this Rasi people. Next, Kanya Rasi. For Kanya Rasi, this year it is Ashtama Guru Sancharam, and Rahu is transiting in the 8th and 7th houses. Ketu is in the 2nd and 1st house. Saturn is in the 6th house. Overall, Saturn is found to be the only favorable planet this year for Kanya Rasi. Guru, Rahu and Ketu are all in mutually inauspicious places. So in the finance life, you might be seeing a lot of increase in expenditure. You might not be getting the job which you have expected or dreamt for. The education is going to be in a pretty bad state. You might not be able to concentrate well or perform well in your exams. The business is not going to be as you have expected. Though you work hard, the 6th house Saturn is favorable, which is very good for daily wage workers. But for business life, though through 6th house transit of Saturn, though you work hard a lot, you might not be seeing the same amount of results. The profit might be decreasing day by day, and also the positive results are going to get delayed a lot. Family life, you'll be seeing a lot of troubles, and also the elders in your family might experience health issues, so you have to be cautious about the elders' health. Love life will see a lot of problems because of the 7th and 8th house transit of Jupiter and Rahu. The stock market trade is not that much favorable this year. So overall, if we consider for the Kanya Rasi, there is also an Ashtamakuja transit. So overall, if we consider for the Kanya Rasi, the Grahasanti recommended is for Jupiter, Rahu and Ketu, and also every Thursday it's better to donate in temples and also do pradakshina to devas, and also do annadana every Thursday, and do Guru Dhyanam, Dakshinamurti Aradhana, Hayagriva Aradhana or Sarada Saraswati Aradhana. Participating in those Devata Homams will bring out good results and Guru Graha Anugraham for this Kanya Rasi. Next, Tula Rasi. So Tula Rasi or Libra. For this Rasi, the 7th house Jupiter transit is pretty much favorable. Though Rahu, Ketu and Shani are not in a favorable position, as Jupiter is in a very good auspicious position, it is going to help you overcome all sorts of troubles from all directions. Either you consider your education, your career, your job prospectus, your business life, your family, love relationships, or your business tradings, your financial planning, all those things are going to be in a pretty good shape. The 7th house transit of Jupiter is going to make you get the levels of confidence with which you work in any stream you select and end up with good profits and good results. You can see a lot of increase in your self-esteem, a lot of positive changes going on. The family support is going to increase. Everybody will recognize you. You'll get good recognition for your work. And also in your job, you'll excel in all your duties, which will give you good promotion, increase in your position, increase in your paycheck as well. Travels particularly are going to be pretty good. You'll experience a lot of new changes in your travels. You'll end up meeting new people. They'll be pretty much friendly to you. They'll give good future advices for your career. So the Santi recommended for this Rasi is for Saturn and Ketu, and also worshipping of Sri Rama and Hanuman. Daily chanting of the Hanuman Chalis and doing pradakshina to Sri Ram and Hanuman will bring good results for this Rasi. Next, Vrishchika Rasi. Vrishchikam or Scorpio. For Scorpio, this year, in the first half, the Rahu transit in the 6th house is good, and in the second half, the Ketu transit in the 11th house is okay. But the transit of Jupiter in the 6th house and the Shani in the 4th house is not at all that much favorable for this Rasi. So if we consider the financial life or the career prospectus, as Guru and Shani are not in a favorable position, this year you'll be experiencing a lot of job stress, and also your colleagues might not be that much favorably placed towards you. They may not be in such a helping situation. They may not have any concern for your intentions or for your thoughts, and they might not be that supportive to your work. You'll be experiencing a lot of workload. You'll have to experience a lot of work pressure as well, a lot of stress. And since Saturn is in the 4th house, in your family life, there will be a lot of short-term troubles, kind of disturbances or differences of opinions with others as well. A lot of arguments going on in your family and love life. A lot of disturbances with your kids. Kids might not be doing well in their education. They might have opinion differences with you. Their education expenses are gonna go up. Also, the business and travels are not that fortunate enough, are not that favorable enough. You'll be seeing a lot of increase in your expenses. And also for this Rasi, from May 10th to June 30, it's Ashtama Kuja Sanchara. So during that time, you can see some health situations changing and some health problems you might face. So for this Rasi, Kuja, Guru, Shani and Rahu Santi is recommended. And also daily in Guru and Shani Hora, doing meditation will bring good results and peace of mind. And also donating food, Annadanam, to Pandits, to those skilled in the Vedic scriptures. Donating food to those and doing any sort of donation will give good results. And daily chanting Sri Datta Saranam Mama will bring in auspicious results from all sorts of directions. Next, Dhanus Rasi or Sagittarius. For this Rasi, you have experienced a lot of problematic situations in the past years. Having experienced the Elinadi Seni, the unfavorable transit of Saturn and Jupiter, you might have seen a lot of problems, but particularly in the Sobhakrut this year, the Jupiter transit is in the 5th house and the Saturn transit is in the 3rd house. It is a very, very favorable situation. And also the Ketu transit in the 11th house. So except Rahu, all 3 planets are pretty much favorable. And if your birth chart is also good with these planets, you can see a lot of positive changes in your life. The job prospectus is going to be pretty good. You'll land in a good job which you desire. You'll have the expected paycheck which you think you want. And also you'll be able to save well, do financial planning in pretty good manner, and your business life is going to be pretty good. You'll see a lot of increase in your profits. And since Guru and Shani are favorable, how hard you work, you'll see more results than that. So the more you work, the more better results which you can experience. None of your work will end up being wasted. Every sort of thing you do will end up in a positive manner. Stock market trading also will give you good positive profits, and students will be able to concentrate well and perform well in their education. They'll have good jobs available once they complete their education, and travels will be pretty much favorable. You'll meet new people. They'll be like your family members. They will support you in all sorts of activities which you undertake. Overall, this year is considered to be a very good year for Dhanus Rasi. And the Santi recommended is, since Rahu and Ketu are unfavorable for a certain period of time, the Rahu and Ketu Santi as well as Ashtama Kuja Dosha, there is Kuja Santi recommended from May 10th to June 30, and chanting Sri Durgaye Namaha, doing Durga Devi Aradhana, performing sacred rituals to Durga Devi in temples, and also meditation during evening times. It brings in auspiciousness for this Rasi. Next, Makar Rasi. Makar Rasi or Capricorn, they're in the last stage of the Elinari Seni, the 7.5 year period which the Saturn causes. So they're in their last stage. But the transit of Jupiter at the same time in the 4th house is also not that auspicious. And the transit of Rahu in the 4th house and Ketu in the 10th house and the 9th house is also not that auspicious. Only the Rahu transit in the 3rd house from October 30 to end of the year will give good results. So overall, if we consider for this Rasi, the financial planning is going to be pretty bad. You'll see a lot of struggles going through your mind as well as your job. The financial planning will be bad. You will not be able to save as much as you have thought. Expenses for your kids' education or for your family lifestyle is going to go up. Travels will increase your expenses. Your profit levels might decrease. There will be a lot of frustration, also a lot of helplessness kind of situations which you might have to face. And since the Saturn is transiting in the 2nd house and Jupiter in the 4th house, you'll experience a lot of health problems this year. So you have to be health cautious as well as financially cautious. So overall this year, the Santi recommended is during June 30 to August 18th, Ashtamakuja Santi. And also for the overall yearly well-being, Guru, Shani and Ketu Santi is recommended. And also during Thursdays and Saturdays, participating in Maunavrata, that is staying quiet without talking for some time during Thursdays and Saturdays. And doing meditation during sunrise time, and also pradakshina or circumambulations to Lord Hanuman will bring in good results for this Rasi. Next, Kumbha Rasi or Aquarius. For Kumbha Rasi, the effect of Saturn, the Elinadi Seni, is in the Janma Rasi. It is in the 2nd phase of the Elinadi Seni. And it's going to be there for a pretty long time. And also the Jupiter transit is from the 2nd house to the 3rd house. The 3rd house transit of Jupiter is not at all favorable for this Rasi. Also the Rahu will be transiting from the 3rd house to the 2nd house after October 30. And Ketu is transiting from the 9th house to the 8th house. So overall, if we consider this year, the only favorable transit is Rahu in the 3rd house from the start of the year to October 30. So overall, this year, the career prospectus is not that favorable. You have to be pretty cautious of whatever decisions you make, who you're consulting, what kind of words you're uttering, what kind of speeches you're giving, what kind of decisions you take, and what kind of results it might give in the future. How you behave with yourself as well as others. How politely are you responding to others' requests? So each and every kind of situation, you have to be pretty much conscious of what you're doing. And if in your birth chart, if these planets are not in a favorable position, it can screw you in your career, either through job changes or getting fired or getting low profits or running out of business, can bring all sorts of miseries to you. So you have to be with pretty much well planning this year, and try not to involve in others' business. Try to involve only in your business. Just mind your stuff and try to go ahead with your work. And also Jupiter transit in 3rd house, there is a less Guru Bala for students as well. They might not be able to perform well in their education. So Guru Santi is recommended for them. And overall, the financial planning is also not that good. And travels will increase your expenses. You might not be ending up with good expected results. You might be disappointed a lot of the time. The property investments are not that favorable for Aquarius this year. So overall, the Santi recommended is during August 18th to October 3rd, Ashtamakuja Santi, and Navagraha Santi whenever possible throughout the year for Aquarius. And during Thursdays and Saturdays, participating or doing Maunavrata, which means staying silent for the whole day without talking if possible. And every day during sunrise time to chant Dakshinamurti Stotra and doing Dhyana meditation of Lord Dakshinamurti, performing Santi for that God, and doing volunteer work in temples and helping the need and saving and serving the masters, gurus, taking their advice and leading your life will help you overcome all these troubles and to be in a good situation. Next, it's Pisces or Meena Rasi. For Meena Rasi, this year, the Elinadi Seni has started. The Saturn is transiting in the 12th house. It's the starting phase of the Saturn effect. And the Rahu is transiting in the 2nd and 1st houses this year. Ketu is transiting in the 8th and 7th houses this year. Though these three are quite unfavorable, the Jupiter transit in the 2nd house will give you pretty good results, which you have expected. But from the start of the year till October 30, you can see a lot of changes in your financial life, a decrease in your career prospectus, might have to struggle for your job stability, might have to struggle for your career, education, you might not be performing well, and also you might not be able to concentrate in any sort of work undertaken. Your decisions might give bad results, and also the financial planning is going to be in pretty bad shape because the Guru and Rahu transit in the 2nd house will bring a lot of negative situations. But after October 30, since the Jupiter transiting the 2nd house, it will give you a lot of favorable results, because the 2nd house transit of Jupiter, your kids gonna do well in their education, or if they're for a job search, they're gonna land with good jobs. Your career will be stable. You'll see a lot of increase in your profits in the business. Your financial health will be pretty good. Your investments will turn out to be very profitable, and also your travels will be profitable. You'll be fortunate enough to meet very good people who will advise you very good for your future concerns, and also you'll develop your professional contacts. So overall, this year for Meena Rasi till October 30, it's a pretty much unbalanced situation, but after October 30 to end of the year, you'll be in a very good state. And the Ashtamukuju Santi is recommended from October 3rd to November 16th. And overall for this year, Shani and Rahu Ketu Santis are recommended. And during sunrise and sunset, it's good to do pradakshina or circumambulation in a Sivalayam, in Siva temple, and also do volunteer work in a Siva temple, and Ishtadaiva Dhyanam, meditation on the God which you like, and Ayyappa Bhajana, which means Lord Ayyappa, Aryan, participating in his bhajans, sevas, or undertaking Ayyappa Diksha will give good results. And also do volunteer work in temples and your Kuladevata, your family deity. Do not ever forget to worship your family deity. It will give a lot of auspicious results to your career. And also take part in Annaprasada or Annadana Seva. This will give good results for Meena Rasi. Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaah go brahmanebhyah subhamastu nityam lokas samasta sukhino bhavantu. Harihi Om. With this, we conclude the Panchanga Sravanam.